This is Lady Myya, and I am here with Melissa Lee West. Okay, fit for legacy. It's all over. It is all over. We're fit for legacy. We need it more than ever. Because I'm pretty sure those donuts just fell off your lap because I just called you out. All right, so what we're going to do is she also has a tech edge media company, and being the author, the speaker, and entrepreneur, what time does she have? Well, we're going to find out. She is going to tell us about her being the visionary for the Fit for Legacy, what her passion is, what her mission statement is, how long she's been doing these things, and the book we got, the book. Let's welcome Miss Melissa Lee West.
Thank you. What a welcome. You make me feel important, girl.
You are.
I love that. I can tell you. Look, you got me smiling, showing all 32. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, that's what we're here for. So tell us, what is Fit for Legacy? Just explain that to us.
Fit for Legacy. Fit for Legacy was born out of my experience. It was born out of my life. I'm a big believer in, you leave the world better than you found it. And that's your legacy, right? It's what people say about you, what they experience with you, and when you're gone. And so this Fit for Legacy came from me wanting to make sure that I'm prepared. I have the right character. I've got integrity. I've got the right systems, strategies in place so that when I do pass on, that my work lives on.
Yes, no, I understand completely. We definitely want you to always be here. So yes, let's do that. So tell us about the Tech Edge Media.
So Tech Edge Media, that was my first business out of college. I actually started the business, named the business in my senior year of college, undergrad. And we had a senior project, and it kind of just, we picked the name, and I kept the name, and I ran with it. And so graduating from college, I started building websites and helping people with some back office technology as an undergraduate student. And I always had an entrepreneurial desire. And so I kept that name. I started the business again over 20 years ago. And so that's the techie in me. I love technology. I love business more. So I love what technology does for your business. And so that's what Tech Edge Media does. I call myself the biz tech evangelist, right? I'm here to combine the business, the tech. I'm the early adopter to a lot of things, right? And so that's what I call myself. That's the tech side of me. And it's so different than what I do on the Fit for Legacy side. So they're two distinct companies. And at the end of the day, I can pull whatever resource I need to from whichever business to accomplish the goal.
That's cool. That is super cool. I mean, and that actually runs alongside what you and I are doing, being a part of Promote Her.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Right. Yeah. So you fit right in. That was like, it was like you were home.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can bring and that's the beauty of Promote Her. You bring your whole self. That's what I love about the network. As an early professional, I didn't always bring all of me to work or all of me. I would try to compartmentalize. And so you may have heard, Najia say that as well, and so now at this stage of my career, I bring it all, put it all on the table, the techie, the consultant, the preacher's kid, all of that. I bring it all to the
She's
to the
a
table.
PK, y'all.
Oh yeah, I'm a PK. I am a PK. Yes, that's why I can talk all day.
I know, right? You were like, PK, watch out.
Listen,
but no, I do know a lot of
put to work.
Yes, okay. Like we tried to make it easy on you, but you didn't want to. Okay, so tell us the mission statement for your business, please.
Both of my businesses, they're here to accomplish one goal. I'm very adamant about employing, empowering, and educating young people, right? And that's the future. If we're not intentional about that, there's always going to be a gap. And so In my mind, I'm still in my 20s. So in my 20s, I was working with kids 10, 12 years old. Now I'm in my 40s. And now I'm looking at the 20-year-olds. I'm like, okay, how do we make sure they, A, get a seat at the table, get a voice at the table, and again, they can set the stage for the next generation. So very multi-generational intent in terms of my mission.
Wow. And that's so important, especially with the children. We believe that they are the future. So we have to take care of that. Certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we appreciate the work you're doing, definitely. So tell us about this book. What's going on? What's the deal?
So,
Mhm.
so I wrote this book. It's called The Wages: The Rise, the Fall, the Redemption, and it's loosely based on my life. You know, I tell people 75% of it is truth, 25% of it is me writing the end of the family story, how I'd like some things to play out. And so it literally is what it says. You know, there's a scripture that says the wages of sin is death. And a lot of times people go really hard. They're like, oh, but I'm thinking about not only a physical death, but a spiritual death. You know, when leaders, parents, organizations, you know, you think about all these corporations out here that don't have ethics. When they make a decision that's not ethical, when they make a decision that impacts multiple people, there's a death that happens in multiple areas. You know, your people will scatter, your vision will be corrupted, all because you just didn't count the cost, right? And so that's kind of what that book talks about. It's a story to kind of talk about how, you know, there's a leader who was great up until the last part of his life. And at the end of his life, he just made some decisions that weren't wise. And then the impact to his organization, the impact to the family and how they rebuilt the family. And it's, you know, it's an easy read, but it's purposeful. You know, if I can get one leader, one, you know, whether they're in business, church, or what have you, to read that and just count the cost, right? Count the cost, because that's mission accomplished. So that's what that book is about.
So does this come ebook? I mean, this is all I need to know. I need
You
to
can get an ebook. You can get it on Amazon. Actually, Kindle. It's ready to go on the Kindle.
take
I had a limited edition print, not on Audible yet, just in print right now. I'm just in digital right now. I do have another book cover I'm going to release. I got the new art I want to release in the next edition. So Amazon.com. It's on the Kindle. Go download it. The Wages.
all
Thank you.
right. Y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here. Okay, so let me ask you a few questions. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna get deep here.
Okay.
So can you give me a brief description? Just give me like a sentence that would actually describe your past.
My past, I would say it was it fortified me. It fortified me. My past built me, right? I had some times that were great. I had some times that were not so great. But in all the times, I'm reminded that I was built for this. So while I may not understand it, I'm confident that I was built to have the life I have.
I like that. Okay. She was built for it, y'all. For it tough. All right. So what we so what was the moment that, you know, changed things for you?
Definitely when I lost my father. I lost my father about 20 years ago. 20 years ago. I think 21 or 22 years old. And when he passed away, and I was a huge daddy's girl, and so when he passed away, and he was 48 years old, it changed my mindset. You know, it really brought death home for me. It brought it home that tomorrow's not promised, and it changed everything. It accelerated some of my decisions. So that's why I don't wait. When I want to do something, I do it. I don't wait on people to travel. I don't wait to try new things. Even if I fail, but I don't wait. So that was a major shift in my life.
Yeah, no, I understand completely. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your father passing.
Well, that's okay.
But it just, all it did was just like recharge you, right?
Yeah.
So it made you
Absolutely.
stronger. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's good, at least. So like, what made you decide that what you're doing now is your passion?
I take the cues and the clues from how I feel when I'm doing it, right? And so when I mentioned earlier I'm a PK, and when you're a pastor, if you're a pastor that's got your intentions right, you build people all day. You pour, you pour, you pour. And so I've always enjoyed pouring into people, building people. I love that. That's something that God has allowed me to do, to see what people may need in that moment. So I enjoy that. And then so how did I know it was my passion? Because again, I was built for it. I get that confirmation when I'm doing it. And then I said, okay, how do I wrap a business around what God called me to do and make money doing it, right? But the heart of the matter still stays the same. If at any point I don't enjoy it,
Mm.
or I don't feel like that's where I'm supposed to be, then that's when I know it's time to move on and do something different.
Wow. That's that's deep. I like that though. I really do, because like when you realize that what you're doing, if you don't like it, that's really not what you're supposed to be
Yeah.
doing. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's
or if it's not bearing fruit, right? It may not be, you're not going to like everything. I don't like every aspect of being in business, but what I do enjoy is when I'm on the phone with the client and we're just having a conversation about their vision. And when I'm working, I'll say when I'm in my element and when I make sure I invite God, He doesn't leave me, right? But I always yield to Him, even on those calls. God will drop things on me for that person not out of nowhere, but it feels like out of nowhere, right? And so it just recharges you every time because you're in the right moment doing the right thing, right? And
yeah.
you give somebody what they needed in that
Mm-hmm.
15-minute call. So
Mm. The blessings of the Lord make it rich, and with it he adds no sorrow.
no sorrow.
I'm like, that's what that sounds like. So I'm just going to say it. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Okay, so how do you feel this has made a difference in your community?
Oh, I can definitely see just the different generations. I've mentored for years, whenever I can see a young person who's been able to implement and apply things that they've learned, or even as simple as if they're in a bind and they know they can call me, right? And I've always told young people, they're not young anymore. Again, they're in their 30s now, but I would tell them, I don't care if you rob a bank, tell me the truth. Just don't lie to me. And so that was the foundation that I set. And so it's when I see them make progress, when I see them getting their careers and just surpassing what they thought they could do, that's what I love to see, right? That's the legacy that I want to see, right? Some impact and some fruit.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, girlfriend got it. I'm telling you, you guys are okay. Y'all gonna get it. Y'all gonna figure it out. That's not a problem. So, so what happens at your events that surprise you?
I think at my events, I think there's been times where I've had a panel. My most recent event that really surprised me where again, because I'm a PK, I've always had friends from different areas, different walks of life, because you had to be friendly to everybody. You had to know everybody. So I've had events where I brought people that were from different parts of my life. But because everybody was on one accord for one mission, they flowed as if they had known each other for years. And that was surprising, because I didn't have to orchestrate that. You had certain people that kind of clicked and they paired off together and they worked well, but I didn't have to mediate. I didn't have to say, oh, this is this, they introduced, and it's almost like we were a big family. And for me, that surprised me because these people lived in different states, had never met each other before. So that was a pleasant surprise.
That is awesome. Where are you
Mm-hmm.
located?
I am in Atlanta metro area. I am in Georgia. Been here. I'm a Georgia raised, not Georgia born, but Georgia raised gal. So I'm a Southern girl.
It's okay. It's all right. I wanted to be, so my heart was there. Just know. My heart was there with you. I was raised in the north, unfortunately. I was like, I don't belong here. They kept kicking me out,
They
and
wouldn't let.
I just didn't know where to go.
Oh
So,
God.
okay, so are there any projects in the works?
Yeah, I'm actually gearing up to actually release my talk show. So I'll be doing a talk show on the Promote Her channel here this fall. Looking at two different titles, so I won't release the title yet, but stay tuned. It definitely will be something around legacy, something with tech. Got a couple of options there. But that's the big project, and making sure that when I release that television show, I've got the right people in place and people I want to be able to promote even on the commercials and the advertisements for my show. So
Yes.
stay tuned.
So, y'all heard that one here first. Okay. Anyway, what we're gonna do is you're gonna tell us, where do you see yourself in the next, I don't know, 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself definitely a probably more visible community activist, just, being able to bring all the things I've done to the table to really impact the community. So there's some things that I already do, but in 10 years, I expect to have a lot, a more complex network, more influence that I can use for the greater good. But then also, I may be overseas. I may not even be living in the U.S. in 10 years, so we shall see. We shall see. I'll always have a presence here, but, I was born overseas. I've always had the travel bug, so, we'll see how things go.
Where were you born?
I was born in Spain on an Air
Really?
Force base.
Born in Spain? What?
I was born in Spain, Madrid, Spain, on an Air Force base, Torrejon Air Force Base.
That is very eccentric. It really is. That is so cool. Like, especially for here, you're like, well, I was born in the U.S. It's just like, it's so normal. But to be born somewhere else, that's amazing. I wish I was born somewhere else.
That's all right. Look, we all have our path, right?
Yes, we do. So if there's anything you would like to say to the masses, my Mayan tribe is listening.
All right. Well, again, thank y'all for having me. You can find me everywhere online, Fit for Legacy or Melissa Lee West. Those are my handles. Fitforlegacy.com is my website. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you for having me again.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. I know you are so busy, and honey, your schedule makes me dizzy. But it's okay. I'm glad I got the opportunity to even talk to you today, and like the pleasure was all mine as well. So you know what, you guys, if you please like, share, and subscribe if you want to hear again from Miss Melissa. I might have to kind of like jump on top of her and hold her down to answer a few questions, but I'll do that for you guys because the Mayan tribe rules. So we're going to do some things. We only want the best for everyone. Please think about these opportunities for you and for whatever. Like, you never know what your passion is until you take a step. And sometimes just coming out of your comfort zone is just a way to go. And I give you these options, and I give you people that have done only what you're scared to do, and only hope that you'll do as well. But thank you so much for living your best life with Lady Myya. And I thank you so much, Miss Melissa Lee West. We love you so much. And
Love you too, girl.
You guys have a wonderful day.